Good morning, everybody. Now, apart from my poetic omnibus, I am also an avid cinephile. I usually and have always written about the cinematic works of art which impress me, which have a deep impact on me. But today I thought, why not talk about a few cinematic exemplars that I have seen over the months and recent weeks. The first work that I'm going to talk about is, of course, um, Gianfranco Rossi's documentary Pompeii Below the Clouds, which is currently streaming on Mubi in India and many territories worldwide. It is a documentary which unfolds in the background of Mount Vesuvius, the volcanic mountain around the Neapolitan area in Italy. Unlike every profound piece of documentation, it deals with the minutiae of everyday life among the citizens of this vast and varied area, from the operating room of a police monitoring team and the fire department receiving calls of distress and agony from citizens complaining about trembling earth, um, to close-ups of smoke billowing out of cracks in the mountains, from stony surfaces to submerged statues, sculptures, and artifacts dating back to millennia. This is a multifarious examination of a city where a historian unearths sculptures, even a sculpture of goddess Lakshmi, uh, demystifying um, the global travel which got initiated aeons ago when there were no fancy means of transportation. And this particular historian and archaeologist treats it as a work of great uh, beauty, as a work of great aesthetic, intellectual merit and value. And there are also other archaeologists from Tokyo who dig deep into the earth and try to find not just the terminologies behind their fieldwork, but also about the history embedded within and beyond. From uh, a legislative council member going deep into the crypts to find tunnels built in ancient mansions within this very area and surveying them on helicopters from the sky, to panoramas of the sea, horse drawn carriages along the shore, and inclement cities. Um, it's a beautiful work, and it also facilitates the journey of an elderly person who tutors children and is a man of deep knowledge. He muses about poetry, about the wages of war, the vagaries of war, and the most important strand here also relates to a Syrian immigrant who has served in war-torn Odessa, Ukraine, finds relative peace while looking after food grains and the shipments in Naples, but he muses about how the situation back home in Syria has actually prepared him to face the consequences and ramifications of war, even though his face betrays that, statement, because of course there is great, great concern wrought large on him and his colleagues. So it is a work of many hues, and it is beautifully structured with Daniel Bloomberg of the Brutalist fames, haunting drone-like musical score, black and white cinematography. It sort of envelopes you and does not let go. Another work, which I'm going to talk about, makes me proud that it is actually made by a compatriot, that is Sri Musings and Towards Happy Alleys, which documents Iran in the throes of a totalitarian um, theocratic regime, but celebrates the resilience of its people through their enunciations and recitations of poetry, especially regards an iconic female poet who transcends not just gender or nationality, but also evinces a universal order of things to come. And Towards Happy Alleys is full of wonderful sequences, just like the previous documentary Pompeii, Below the Clouds, that I talked about. Srimoy Singh was conducting research on Iranian cinema and the cinematic figures as part of a PhD thesis while a student at Jadavpur University. And she actually visited Tehran and its adjoining areas, met filmmakers like Jafar Panahi, a human rights lawyer who was being jailed many times. So this work actually captures the important pivotal pockets of joy, whether it is in Jafar Panahi asking Srimoy Singh to sing a Farsi song, whether it's Srimoy Singh learning the Farsi language to communicate with the people of Tehran that she meets along the way better, whether it is she singing a song as a foreigner in a jewelry store, underscoring the reality that women actually cannot sing in public. Um, Given the fact that local citizens are outlawed from uh, performing songs, to capturing women on squares and marketplaces, taking off the hijab and actually putting up a brave front against policemen or custodians of law, exercising freedom. It is also a work which intersects with Sri Moy Singh's own poetry, her photography, especially evocative of them being the photography of this burqa clad woman by a river, which has now dried up. And it speaks volumes, as um, works of art usually do. And it's a wonderful work. You must watch it. From a female intellectual reading the lines of a poem and getting teary eyed because the lines which were written so far back reflect in her own life script, to other examples of things left said and unsaid, and the reality that this regime already has clamped down on its own citizens, um, and is also facing war from other nations now. But human resilience is something to root for, to vouch for, to marvel at, to preserve. And Towards Happy Alleys celebrates the freedom, the songs, the music, the poetry, the smiles, the bonhomie and the companionship, which tells us of a city and a country which opens its hearts and souls to others, and braves all possible odds. So I hope you watch these two documentaries. Both And Towards Happy Alleys and Pompeii Below the Clouds are streaming on Mubi currently.